Was haben wir hier? Vogti! Na, meine obergelbe Zuckersahne-Schnecke. Wie ist es? Wie war dein Tag?
If you want to pad that account of yours, the mission boards are the way to do it.
What kind of name is Sysdef anyway?
Respekt? Will ich nicht hinkriegen. Oh, Aurora.
Where did your stellar rise to infamy begin?
In the streets of New Atlantis. No parents, no godparents. Just a homeless punk kid robbing whoever he could for the credits.
Were these violent crimes? Murders?
I'm a bit offended you even asked that question, Gail. Sure, a few people here and there walked away with injuries, but I'm not.
Und 1,5 Minuten ist Werbung, Leute.
That doesn't sound as heartless as your reputation would imply.
Well, like I said, I was just a kid.
Were you ever caught by the authorities in New Atlantis?
Oh, dozens of times. But I'd just give them a fake name, or they just slap me on the wrist and send me on my way. They obviously didn't think that I'd amount to
Too many
anything,
missions,
and
not
didn't
enough
want
time.
to waste their time with rehabilitation.
What changed that? Was it the robbery in 2218?
2218. Oh, yeah. The Galbank archives. Very good, Gail. See, you've done your research. That would be when I rounded up a few of my buddies and we knocked the place over. Made off with a ton of credits. My first big score.
Is that why the Crimson Scar decided to bring you into their ranks?
That's right. They brought me in, taught me the ropes, and I
The
did
fleet
crimes
protects
for
our
them
own,
for
but you turn against us.
5 years. Till I decided I wanted more. I got rid of their leader, put myself in his place, and started running the show. I've been the one in charge ever since.
Was it absolutely necessary to cut his throat and leave the body on a public street in the well?
On the street, reputation is everything. I wanted everyone in the city to know that Jasper Cricks was taking over. I think they got the
It's a
message.
real job any day.
Stressig, ich habe das Geburtstagsgeschenk für meinen Opa zusammengebaut und musste noch mal los, weil ich was vergessen habe und dann noch mal meine Vorratskammer aufgeräumt und Essen gekocht. Fleißig war der Vogti heute also schon. Interesting.
Gotta make sure to train every day. Bad aim and bad health.
Sich hier erstmal wieder zurechtzufinden, immer bei den neuen großen Orten, ey.
Let me just ask you one final question before we wrap up.
Fine. Go ahead.
When is enough going to be enough? How many credits does Jasper Cricks need until he's satisfied?
I should have expected you to ask such a stupid question. How the hell could you ever understand?
Mach mal kurz das Fenster
You
zu
and your
bei mir.
fancy education and your sheltered upbringing and your cushy media job. Me, I came from nothing. Everything I own, I've literally drawn blood to gain.
There's no need to get personal. I'm simply trying to state the facts so that our listeners can make judgments of their own.
Lady, I got news for you. Half of your listeners think I'm a hero. The other half are scared out of their goddamn minds, and they should be.
Perhaps we should talk about something else.
No, that's it. We're done. Can you guys get her the hell out of here? Make sure she takes all this sound equipment with her.
Well, that's it then. Thank you for your...
Actually, before you go, Gail, there's one more thing I would like to say.
Yes, of course. What is it?
When you broadcast this interview on SSNN, I want you to remember that I'll be listening. If you edit even one word or manipulate my voice to change anything I've said, I will hunt you down and kill you. In front of everyone. Do you understand?
I understand. You have my word.
So wait, say that again. You think I'm who?
Stop playing games. We both know your real name is Lionel Soto, and you know why I'm here.
Who are you? Fleet? Ecliptic? An independent?
I've spent 2 long years and every credit I had looking for you, just so I could look you in the eye before I pulled the trigger.
Hey, what's with the gun? There must be some mistake. I honestly don't know who you are.
Of course you don't know who I am. You're never concerned with the death you leave in your wake, in your pursuit of greed. You killed my husband, you son of a bitch! And now I'm going to kill you!
Such a terrible shame. All that time and money she wasted. Well. Better get rid of the body.
Ich weiß nicht, warum ich in letzter Zeit immer diese Bots bekomme hier, die immer diese Promo-Code verkaufen wollen. Das Gefühl, jeden Stream kommt jetzt immer einer rein. Wenn du ein aufsteigender Stern am Twitch-Himmel bist? Nein, ich weiß ja nicht. Ich glaube, ich habe jetzt in den letzten 3 Streams 6 Follower verloren. Ich bin jetzt wieder unter 300. Ja. Starfield ist halt nicht das Geilste zum Zuschauen, finde ich. Ich behandle das hier als Hörbuch.
How quickly can you get that done?
Das ist halt immer so eine Sache bei AAA-Game oder sehr, sehr gehypten oder was auch immer Spielen, ne? Die Leute wollen entweder selbst spielen und gucken dann da bei jemandem nicht zu. Oder, gucken halt bei den ganz großen Leuten zu. Und da ist es natürlich dann schwer, dann halt Zuschauer zu generieren. Aber einen zu entfollowen? Ist ja... Hört halt dazu. Ist ja kein Problem. Ich habe trotzdem Spaß. Und es kommen ja trotzdem immer wieder Leute hinzu oder die gleichen Leute immer wieder rein. Von daher ist ja alles super. Mache ich ja doch irgendwo was richtig. Space is not for the weak. Ach, Vogti, das ist jetzt hier übrigens die Undercover-Mission, ne? Questreihe. Die habe ich vorhin angefangen. Bin gespannt, wie du sie beendest. Also die erste Quest war ja jetzt, wir mussten den einen Typen da töten, der auf diesem Raumschiff war. Oder halt irgendwas anderes. Und ich habe mich jetzt dafür entschieden, dass der zu den UC SysDev-Typen kommt, die mich beauftragt haben. Und so bin ich jetzt der Crimson Fleet halt dann beigetreten. Weil sie wollte ja eigentlich, dass ich ihn töte. Und wir haben gestern noch, beziehungsweise heute auch noch, angefangen, Außenposten zu bauen. Aber ich komme gerade nicht weiter mit Außenposten, weil mir Kupfer fehlt.
Tell us about your arrest.
Oh, my arrest was spectacular. Definitely one for the record
Those
books.
crabs ain't gonna steal themselves.
UC security sent an
I got
armada
a
after
bounty
our
so
fleet
big,
ships,
the
picked us off one
truckers'
by
eyes
one until
had
the
to
remainder of us
refund
made it to the
service
wheel.
Just to keep
For
tabs
a
on-
listener's benefit, that was the star station in orbit
I hope
around
God has
Moline that
something
you
strong enough to
destroyed
knock
just
me
before
out.
your arrest, correct?
You see, that's what they'd have you believe, but the truth is much less sinister. There was a firefight on the wheel when they tried to bring us in. We holed up, but UC security unleashed hell. The damage they caused was catastrophic. We only surrendered so we wouldn't die when the station exploded.
Well, the UC says you set demolition charges to try and cover your tracks and make your escape.
That's their story. You'll have to go with your gut on what you think really happened. Anyway, they took us in and tossed us into the lock. That lovely resort they opened on Suvorov.
And you were imprisoned there for how long?
Well, it was supposed to be for life, Gale. But I ended up serving 2 years before I decided I'd had enough.
Is there any particular reason that you started the riots that eventually led to the worst prison break in United Colonies history?
Yes. I'm quite proud of that, actually. I honestly didn't think it would go as well as it did. As for the reason, well, it's simple. The UC were treating us like animals. The conditions in the lock were ridiculously bad and no one cared. That's why they stuck us on that ice ball in the first place. Out of sight, out of mind.
Your escape caused the deaths of many that were stationed at the lock. Some would brand that as a bit dismissive for what you're describing as a protest. If you were simply advocating for your fellow inmates, why didn't you just go through the proper channels?
And what the hell was I supposed to do? Send a strongly worded letter to my duly appointed representative? Wake up. The UC only responds to actions, not words. In my mind, there was no other choice. You know what? Let's move past my time at the lock so we can get to the point of this goddamned interview.
Tell us what the future holds for the Crimson Fleet.
Changes are coming, Gale. Huge changes. Crimson Fleet will soon be a much bigger player in this little game between the members of the settled systems.
That's quite a bold statement. Would you care to elaborate?
Well, let's just say that I'm on the brink of a score so large, it makes everything else pale in comparison. Beyond that, you'll just have to wait and see.
If you aren't willing to discuss the details, why grant SSNN this interview?
Simple. I refuse to allow the UC to spin or bury the story, making it sound like they're in complete control of the situation. I'm gonna tell you right now, they aren't.
Why does the Crimson Fleet need to make this mysterious move that you're being so evasive about?
I I know SysDef instructed you to draw this meeting out as long as possible. So let me sum this up. I intend to make sure that the Crimson Fleet becomes the United Colony's worst nightmare. And nothing, I mean nothing in this universe, will stop me from achieving that goal.
There are those that would disagree with you and claim this interview is grandstanding, or worse, a recruitment tool. After all, SSNN reaches every corner of the settled systems, and your aspirations could inspire the directionalists to turn to the fleet.
You and the sheep that listen to your garbage can believe whatever the hell you want. If you were so worried about what I had to say, you wouldn't have allowed yourself to be brought here.
Interessant. So, was haben wir denn hier? Persönliche Aufzeichnung. Am seidenen Pfahl. Nicht, dass ich es naiver zugeben würde, aber die Fleet ist in schlechter Verfassung. Wir haben viele gute Leute verloren und sie durch Ausschussware ersetzt. Das Schlimmste ist, dass die Leute aufeinander losgehen. So ist das halt bei Piraten, wenn es scheiße läuft. Jeder ist sich selbst am nächsten, aber eine Meuterei wird es wohl nicht geben. Neva redet zwar viel Müll, ist aber loyal. Und der Rest dieser Idioten ist zu blöd oder zu gierig, um sich auf irgendwas zu einigen. Schon gar nicht auf einen neuen Captain der Fleet. Die Vorstellung eines Piraten von einer gerechten Aufteilung besteht darin, dich in 2 Hälften zu schneiden. Von daher endet auch jedes Gespräch darüber, sich zusammenzutun mit einer Schlägerei im Nova. Nein, wenn alles in die Binsen geht, bricht es unter uns zusammen wie ein verdammter Erdfall. So wie ich es sehe, werden wir nicht überleben, wenn wir nur hier und da ein paar Credits aufpicken. Wir müssen alles auf eine Karte setzen. Die Zukunft der Fleet beginnt und endet mit Kriegsvermächtnis. Aquila City. Manchmal träume ich von Aquila City. Von den sandigen Straßen, der dicken, schweren Luft und den Ruf der Wildnis jenseits der Mauern. Alles ist genau, wie ich es in Erinnerung habe. Ich bin wieder mit meiner alten Crew zusammen. Wir drehen Dinger und verprügeln Leuten für ein wenig Kleingeld. Pausengeld haben wir das genannt. Und wir waren die Schulhoftyrannen. Nur eine Sache stimmt in meinen Träumen nicht ganz. Es gibt am Tag kein Licht. Immer wenn ich nach oben sehe, ist der Himmel pechschwarz. Erst dachte ich, das wäre nur das Alter. Dass ich vielleicht schon so lange in dieser fliegenden Blechbüchse bin und einfach den Himmel über Aquila vergessen habe. Aber das ist es nicht. Wenn ich wach bin, erinnere ich mich ganz klar an das alles. Nein, es liegt darin, dass ich selbst als arroganter kleiner Straßengauner tief in mir drin immer wusste, dass Aquila City nicht mein Zuhause ist. Dass ich hier oben hingehöre, zu Fleet. Okay. Dann quatschen wir doch mal mit Delgado. Gucken, was er zu sagen hat.
So, now that we are all here, it's time to get down to business. The 2 of you are the only rooks that have made the latest cut. The rest, well, let's just say they won't be joining us ever again. Neva's willing to put her neck on the line and vouch for you, which means you've got what it takes to join the Crimson Fleet.
Würde ich aber auch hoffen, dass Neva für mich bürgt, nach dem, was ich für sie machen musste.
You and everyone else on the station. Keep following orders, and you'll get paid. It's as simple as that. All right, let's get started here. When you sign up with the Crimson Fleet, you're in it for the long haul. No one quits. No one retires. The only way out is death. You stay loyal, or you pay the consequences. Fleet before friends. Fleet before family. Fleet before yourself.
Und was ist mit Wladimir? Verstanden, Boss. Ich werde nicht gerne herumkommandiert, aber hoffentlich nicht Fleet vor Frühstück. Ich schlafe nämlich gerne lange. Warum hat eine Piratenorganisation so viele Regeln?
Hey, if you've got a problem, I can decorate that wall behind you with your brains. Room could use a little color if you ask me.
It's all right, neighbor. I admire this rook's backbone. Takes a lot of guts to crack jokes with the threat of death staring them in the face.
Can we get on with this? I want to get drunk at the last Nova.
Was ist denn für ein
I'm
Schnösel?
impressed. That is the first intelligent thing you have said this entire time, Mathis. Since you two seem so eager to move forward, let's get to your next job. Pack your cold weather gear, rooks. Where we are going, you're going to need it.
Oh, God, don't tell me you're dragging him down to Suvarol for another one of your little initiation runs. 10 Johns to the surface, 12 dead rooks. You'd think by now you would have given up on that goddamn campfire story.
Crix's legacy is no story, neighbor. We've got fresh eyes in the fleet. And if these two want to impress, they're going to help me search those ruins.
I hope you're right, Dale. That new code we grabbed for the lock cost us a ton of credits. And a decent captain.
This initiation, as Neva calls it, is your chance to see where it all began. On Suvorov with Jasper Crix. Crix led the riots that gave birth to the Crimson Fleet. And if his legacy is still out there, we're going to be the ones to find it.
Vielleicht solltest du mir über Cracks für mich erst erzählen, von was für ein Code redet. Und dann nimmst du jeden neuen Piraten auf eine Initiation mit. Wie viele Prüfungen und Initiationen muss ich denn noch absolvieren?
Before Crix left the fleet, he left a message talking about a major score. One that would set up the fleet to be a big player in the settled systems. Somewhere down the line, they started calling it Crix's legacy. And everyone who's tried to find it has wound up empty-handed, missing, or dead. If we're gonna beat those odds, we'll first need a lead. And I would wager we will find one on Suvorov.
Dale's leaving out the best part. That this whole search is based on a handful of words on a very old slate. Crix left a lot of big talk on that recording, and not a lot of facts. Some of us believe in it more than others.
Don't listen to her. When we get our hands on Crix's legacy, the fleet will be operating at a completely different level. We will become more than a match for UC SysDef.
Dann sind wir nicht mehr zu stoppen, das ist doch viel zu ehrgeizig. Legen wir einfach los. Und wenn er einfach recht hat und Crix zum Beispiel nicht real ist, wird die Fleet dadurch nicht einfach nur noch ein größeres Ziel für die UC-Devs?
You forget the UC is still licking its wounds from the colony wars. They don't have the capability to mount a full-scale assault. And if they were foolish enough to attack, we would have the manpower to push those pendejos right back to Jemison. If we have Crix's legacy. Exactly. Now you're beginning to understand. Okay, enough discussion. We have got a lot of work to do. To that end, the next stop is the lock. I've had Jazz feed the coordinates into your ship's computer. Since Mathis doesn't have a ship, he's going to ride with me. I'll see you down there, Rook. Don't keep me waiting.
Darf ich was zu dieser Initiation fragen? Kannst du mir irgendwas über die Geschichte von Jasper Crix erzählen, bevor er im Schloss erntete?
I could tell you stories that would last for hours. When you... well, if you get back to the key. I am sure you can find some copies of the interview he gave to SSNN around here, somewhere. I think those recordings might give you the history lesson that you are looking for. Yeah, what is it? There is no deal. You and Mathis are two sides of the same coin. A couple of rooks fighting for a spot in the fleet. Only problem is that he is down a ship and you are not, which puts you ahead. Just barely. Who knows? Maybe he'll get lucky and you won't make it off Suvorov in one piece.
Und warum nicht einfach beide aufnehmen, wenn ihr so Männerkraft braucht?
It's cold. Bitter cold. Just about the last place you would want to find yourself without heat. The few living things that can survive the extreme temperatures are constantly fighting to stay at the top of the food chain. The Crimson Fleet called Suvorov the White Hell. To me, it's paradise. Someone up here pisses me off enough, I send them down to the surface for a little overnight visit. Snaps them right back into line. The UC built the lock as a supermax prison a little under... well, it must have been at least 100 years ago. Before that, those concha de sus madres marooned prisoners on the planet's surface and left them to their own devices. As you can imagine, these turned into some kind of demented survival of the fittest. Prisoners killing each other for a chance at meager supplies. Luckily, some whistleblowers back in New Atlantis saw this as cruel and unusual punishment and pressured the UC into building the facility. 5 years after the prison was completed, Crix touched off the riots that overran the lock and eventually the key. Nobody knows exactly what went down. I mean, there's all sorts of rumors. Creeks was in prison for almost 5 years. And judging from the look of the facility, every moment must have been miserable. I suppose he just got fed up and decided to take matters into his own hands. Got the prisoners behind him and kept pushing until he reached the key. The cojones on that guy. UC's toughest supermax prison, and he just waltzed the hell out of there like it was nothing. I would love to have been a part of that. Fine, then get moving.
Okay.
Got mixed feelings about my last job. On the one hand, lost a friend.
Every captain here has earned their stripes. Leading force.
Need some medical assistance? First time visiting the infirmary, huh? Let me give you a piece of advice. Try not to get into too many bar fights. I'm trying to save my dwindling supplies for sale and pirates coming in off of raids. That's what they all say, until they stumble in bleeding out on my floor. So here's what's what. You need medpacks, curatives, preventatives, I've got you covered. At least, you need enhancers, legal or...
Mehr brauche ich nicht.
Hopefully that won't... Now, if you don't need anything else, I've got it. Medical record.
Jo, mehr brauchen wir nicht.
Take care of yourself.
Jo. So, wo war denn jetzt? Was ist das denn hier überhaupt? Docking Parts? Okay.
I hope you do not have any loose cred sticks. I fully expect you would find them missing when we leave here. It would seem that none of the rest.
I don't trust shielding. I got a secret.
I find the interior of this ship comforting.
What?
How are you easing into things? A docking system,
Yes,
at least.
I would say that the proper adjustments are being made.
Ja doch.
Setting down.